Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Jimmy. This is Mind Beyond, and we are back. I had to miss last week. I had a lot going on last week. We had a wedding, family in town, and it was all about the fam last week. But today we are back taking a look at the Bitcoin portfolio, and my goodness, we are in the trenches. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so coming over, taking a look at the Bitcoin portfolio. I didn't even track last week. I know I was in the positive last weekend. I was, but I know Bitcoin was already starting to pull back some, but I was in the positive last week. This week, for week 15, right? This is week 15. Today is March 1st. Our balance is sitting at $1,022.89. Actual invested is $1,056. Our profit is negative $33.23. Our weekly net is minus 146.11. Profit wise on a percentage is minus 3.15%. And we just continue to accumulate here. We had 0.01208 Bitcoin. Again, we're doing $7.25 a day, no matter what. So even in this pullback, I didn't buy any Bitcoin in this portfolio. I actually did it on my Coinbase account. So that way I was able to reap the benefits of the price pulling back right now, but I'm keeping this as consistent as possible. So right now my average purchase price is $87,343. And the present cost of Bitcoin right now at the time of me screenshotting this was $84,654. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the charts. All right. So coming over, taking a look at the charts, we're going to start on the weekly time frame, right? Weekly time frame. We had this weekly fair value gap that we tested. I talked about it. I talked about us, testing this broadening for the upper bound of this broadening formation once we actually broke out. Remember, I circled this, I outlined these three touches here, and we ran up again, and we tried to go back into this channel, and we rejected, right? We basically formed a hangman candle or a doji or whatever you want to call it on the rejection of this channel. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 with one more close here. We would have 5 negative candles in a row. I'm just going to be honest. I talked about this fair value gap. It seems to be holding. If we can close above this fair value gap, which I think we can, look, we tapped down all the way to 78,000, as I mentioned. If we close below this fair value gap, or even if we close within this midpoint of the fair value gap, we still have the ability for Bitcoin to actually pull back all the way to this demand zone here, right? That's still a strong possibility. Okay. And the good thing about this demand zone, this demand zone sits between 72,000 and 68,000, 69,000. This would be a great place to accumulate, And I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with Gerald Peters, the money flow, but taking a look at this, right? So this is what you call your stage 1, right? Accumulation. And then you have your stage 2 breakout. What I would want to do, right? Because now we have another stage of accumulation here, right? That we recently broke out of, and we ran up here. So I'm going to just use this ghost pattern, right? I'm going to steal that, and I'm going to layer it over where we are right now, right? Like so. All right. So I'm layering this ghost pattern over basically where we are in the market right now with Bitcoin. And one thing I want you to keep in mind is that this isn't a 1-for-1, but it's the closest thing that I could find that would make sense for where we are. This is just my projection, right? This weekly fair value gap holds up. We get to some accumulation here. We could possibly test this demand zone. Really wouldn't want it, but that would only mean that we've basically dove further into a pit. And if this is indeed the bottom, okay, of this pullback, we could have a little bit more accumulation here. So have some patience. We have a full year ahead of us. President Trump already announced the March 7th crypto event at the White House. So this could potentially be one of those events. But honestly, this could be a nice pushback up into this range. And honestly, I like this projection. I like this projection because it's taking previous price action and layering it over current price action. Okay. So the important thing to remember here is that This ghost pattern doesn't predict exactly where Bitcoin's going to go, but what it has the potential to do. Okay. And what I'll do now is I'll use a fib. I'll use my fib tool, and then I'll take just this expansion leg. So this is what I love to see, because now I have a couple of confluences lining up. I not only have the weekly fair value gap that we just tapped into, but we also tapped into this golden zone. Many people that use the Fibonacci tool like to call this the golden zone, the golden ratio. We've tapped into here and we've basically rejected hard. We still have a day and 9 hours left on this weekly candle. Let's take a look what the day looks like. So the daily candle, and I know this looks like a lot, but the daily candle had a huge rejection candle, right? Huge rejection, and price went all the way down here, and the bulls basically rallied, in a major way. And this is what you want to see in a pullback. Like, you want, sometimes you'll look at a candle like this, and this would be a hammer in a downtrend. Some people, sometimes depending on what's happening, it could be considered a dead cat bounce, but we haven't bounced yet off of here. All we did was reject strongly. So I like a hammer on a downtrend in a weekly fair value gap in a golden zone on the weekly time frame. I like that. I like my chances here. If you're looking to go long on Bitcoin, this is potentially where you'd want to go. So we have 8 hours left in this day. What you would like to see is this daily candle close above this high of the previous hammer candle. That's what you would want to see. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to the week now, and this is what we're looking like. And it lines up with the final take profit of, being in this golden zone at the 50%, at 61.8%. You have the potential to hit not only TP1, but TP2 as well. And those are lined up between 122 and 141. So I like the odds here. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm really excited for where we're going with Bitcoin, because everything is lining up. Everybody wants to buy when the price is high. It is on sale now. If you're looking to get Bitcoin, I highly advise that you consult a professional. I am not a professional. I am merely discussing what I'm doing with my own money. Okay. But for me and my household, I'm buying Bitcoin here. This is what I'm doing. I like my chances. I like the odds. I like what the chart is telling me. The chart is telling me to buy more, not to run. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and let me know in the comment section below. If you sold some of your crypto over the last 2 weeks, let me know what you pivoted into. Did you move it into stocks? Did you move it into other type of the asset cryptos? I'm really excited for what XRP has going the rest of this year as well too. So just keep that in mind. The market has to pull back. We will not run up for forever. Okay. So keep that in mind. Until next week, I'll catch you next time. I'm out. Peace.